Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally here. It's the grand final. It's going to be amazing, I hope. Uh, we've got me, Evie, being headcaster. I'm gonna call myself headcaster, and we've got DK Max here as well, helping me out with the broadcast.
Helping out is so appropriate, and headcaster is definitely a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it should be a good match.
Oh, well, let's do it this way. There we go. Rankings. Ah, there we go. So we got the team. So let's have a look at Khornight first, then.
Yeah, we'll have a look at Khornight first. Khornight's team is quite interesting, at least in my opinion. We've got lots and lots of things going on. The main thing that I'm super happy about is the blitzer with it's got blodge and break tackle. I think it's really cool. Bit of a shame that the other blitzer's not leveled up. But yeah, I mean one pretty good catcher, one ball hockey catcher, lots of randoms on the thrower. I mean, overall, it's not like a perfect team, but it's got a lot of players, and it can at least, because it's got a lot of players, it'll get stuff done because it's elves. Um, and I mean, I really like that as that player. That player is like, if I could have one of those on like any team, that's the player I want.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd be the other way. I'd be like, I'd be quite happy to have the thrower. I definitely think, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out with different opinions.
Right, let's go and have a look at the other team real quick before it all kicks off, because I'm sure it's going to kick off any second now. It is going to be the Orcs, so it's Orcs. Let's be real. But I do think that Archangel did have some attrition. Oh, the match is live. Okay, right. Let's go to the match. Oh, it's gone all black. What's happened to my screen? Okay. Well, yeah, it's standard Orcs. They've got some stand firm. They've got some mighty blow. They've got some guard, and Archangel's got like a super player. But let's go into the game real quick.
Yeah, like you say, it is very much standard Orcs, isn't it? There's guard, there's mighty blow, there's block. It's the stuff that you need to just beat down your other team.
Yeah, I mean,
What's going to be
Archangel's
interesting?
the only player that Archangel I think is quite interesting is I think it's like an agility up. What is it like? And I think it's like agility up, break tackle, blitzer, which is kind of disgusting.
So this is interesting. The old boys have kicked the ball, and so far it looks like it's landed on the Orc. Yep. So it's just been handed off, which will suit the Elves absolutely down to the ground. That's one less thing they've got to worry about, which is where the ball lands and where if they can get to it before they basically get filled in.
Yeah, I mean the main problem that the elves have now is the fact that it's very sunny. The elves aren't a huge fan of very sunny. And I do like this though from Archangel is just going like, you know what? You're not fighting me. I'm gonna all man's this.
Yeah.
I challenge you.
I've put out a line. I'm fully expecting you to Dakar, and I'm just going to march forward in one big solid line. I like that it's put the strength fours on the outside as well. They're probably least mobile out of the team on the outside, so we can keep the center of the pitch more in command.
I mean, yeah, like I think it's a good formation, but also like if you know your opponent is gonna do like a Daka, or as we should probably call it for this stream, like a withdrawn offense. Having the strength 4 on the outsides, especially with like stand firm and stuff, it's going to make it pretty difficult for the elves to really do anything.
Right, I've got a way we can deal with this. Just bear with me a moment.
Are you able to manually mute?
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Good stuff. I'm like switching between the two streams because I've got it up on Twitch and I've got it up in the Discord. So if I've got it up in the Discord, I'm like on time, but I want to be able to see chat.
Sure.
Do you have control of the like in-game camera stuff.
Yes, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. So, how do I swivel the game round so that we can see it from the L side?
Okay, okay. 1 second. It's at the bottom of the screen, I think, somewhere. No, it's not at the bottom of the screen. It's oh, is it Q or Q and something maybe?
Hold on, we'll
Um,
find out. See.
God damn it. Someone sent me this. Sent it me in a what's it called in a message. Give me a second. It should be X. No, Q and E for left and right turns. Apparently,
Ah, there we go.
there we go.
There we go. We see it from the L side. This is the much more interesting view now,
Yeah,
because
if we
he's
could.
just given no space at all.
Yeah, can we zoom in just a touch as well, just to
There we
kind
go.
of yeah, so we can see what's going on just a little bit better. Ooh, failed rush there. That's unfortunate.
Failed rush that he took, but like you say, he's just march forward with a solid line and go fight me, bro.
Well, that's the thing now. Because of that fail, there might be a way through if
I think he's been fortunate with the fail that it's in the middle, and it was like one of the last moves he was doing. So if you look at where he's fallen down, he's still got to like dodge or try and get through. And there is a
no,
tackler.
they can yeah they can get rid of that if they because they've followed up. They get rid of that if they get a power on that, then all of a sudden there's a big gap and they can just all run through.
Yeah,
So
because they'll have an assist here. They'll lose the assist here. So yeah, they could get 2 dice on the ball and mark their way through.
I mean, all you need is a couple of elves to get through, and then
And then
oh,
throw it away.
that's unfortunate. I'd burn a reroll there.
Yeah, me too. Because you're thinking, do you know what? If I get through this, yeah, he gets the power now. Because it just allows you to get an elf right through straight away, and with nerves of steel, you don't have to worry about the catch. It's just trying to get the throw through.
Can you still hear Archangel? And can the stream still hear Archangel?
They shouldn't be able to hear him because I've muted him in this Discord, and I think that's where all the sound was coming from.
Oh,
No,
good.
yeah, they're saying they can't. No, they can't. Yeah, we killed him. We killed Archangel.
Right, good. I need to mute Archangel then.
Yeah, sorry, I've muted him on my side. Yeah, there you go. Oh look, he's running straight away and caging up.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely the play. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
otherwise, because that's the thing with the Daka. You can't let the opponent like completely set up like a sound formation.
yeah.
No, he's not. He's not raging, Mark. It's all
It's-
good. He's just talking to someone in the background, so it's in a
yeah, he's
language I can't understand.
speaking Danish to his other half. Yeah, so just by taking one side of the wing, he's removing so many players from Archangel's side. Plus, he's got the 3 down here that are going to struggle to keep up anyway. I suppose the question is now is, does he try and hold out, or does he just go, yeah, I'll score?
I think
Because
it's run
the
away and
Mauser,
hold out.
yeah, he's got to make the most of just running around the back end of the pitch now.
Yeah, because like I mean the elves are through, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. The elves are through. Like there's not really much you can do to stop them now.
No.
The ones in the middle, they're marked up for the most part. The screen's all set up. All the sides are covered. It's now just can Archangel run um, into them and slow
Mhm.
them down / kill enough of them and force an early score.
That's exactly what I was going to point out, which is how many removals can I get while, if you like, he's faffing about on the back line, and maybe force the casualty quick score as opposed to the put pressure on quick score.
I was actually a little bit wondering why Archangel didn't re-roll the rush. Because I get it, burning a re-roll on the rush kind of sucks, but if you don't do it, this happens.
Yeah, you've just left
And
the gap, haven't you?
yeah, like yeah, it's just I don't know. I'd have re-rolled it personally because I would want to do the hit, but I'd also want to keep the formation. because that's quite important. Because if you keep the formation, then it's way more difficult for Khornight to get through. But now Khornight's through, the hardest part's over. Like
Yeah.
the breaking through the strength 4 on the wings and all the guard and all the strength 3 in the middle, like that's done with now. You're through. All you got to do now is just hold out, just run away and keep running away.
Yeah, I think Orcs will do the tactic now of I'm going to try and base up with as many as your people as possible and really hope for a Snake Eyes to terminate your turn early.
Yeah, pretty much. It should be interesting. I mean, I guess it all depends on how many elves end up perishing here. But can we look a little bit to the left? What's the bench looking like? Is it 3?
Yep, so
It
3
is.
Elves on the bench, and I don't think the Orcs have got 2 on the bench.
Yeah. Okay. Has Archangel? Ah, there it is. Archangel does have the in the middle to the left, the Super Blitzer with plus agility, break, tackle.
Ooh, ooh, that's grim. But he's got 3 others sat on the side, hasn't he? It is
That's a good player
a
though.
blodger. Yeah, that's a tackle blodge. Freaking that is a rough removal early on.
Yeah, because
Friend,
you can't echo that either realistically.
not this early in the game. I think he's got more players, more valuable players to him that he'd like to keep in the field.
Yeah, like I mean the blitzers and the catchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sad. Also, like just as a little reminder to everybody in the stream, uh, if something dies, it dies. These teams are not like saved in any way, and they're not like recreations to be. They're not recreations to be kind of like all mended up, or anything like that. So
Yeah, because the result of this will then flow into the Premiership games next season, won't they? So that's a rough loss, actually, isn't it?
well, I mean, I think the Premiership has well, I mean, everything started right, but I'm guessing that these two, their first game is potentially delayed until this is over.
Well, I suppose it's all the first round fixtures have been rolled, haven't they? But they've got like a week and a half to sort of get them arranged and get them played. So, like you say, whether they, well, in theory, they should be playing this first before playing their first league fixtures. But either way, if you're going into next season thinking, "Oh yeah, I've got this," and you've just lost, a level 5 lineman, that's rough.
Well, I mean, that's also the thing, right? Because like they've I'm guessing because they've still got full strength teams here, they have to play this, then they have to lower their teams down to
Yeah.
1400. Then
Mhm.
it all kicks off in the elsewhere.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because 1400 for those that don't know, which I imagine there's a vast majority that do, is the league cap for starting is 1400. So if like both of these teams are well over that before they enter next season, they've got to look at retiring players, losing players, and still having 11 that they can put out before they kick off with the first game of the new season.
I guess that's kind of a good thing for
Yeah, it's one
uh
less tough decision to make, isn't it? Because it's been made for them. And there's the snake eye we was talking about. So he's got the ball on a player forward, but there's that super blitzer over here here on the centre, just like eyeing it up.
oh no, Discord's fighting me. Oh no.
Why is Disco fighting you?
It's not working.
I wonder if we can
Yeah,
see
okay.
see
Yeah.
because it's their Discord. We can't even kick him out, but you should be able to mute him, but it's not coming
I've no,
through.
I've managed to mute Archangel and stuff, but now the problem is that it's broken.
It's broken.
Yep, that is the only way I can describe it. It has broken itself. Um, so basically on mobile, what you do is you have all your servers on the left, and you
Yeah.
click the server, and then it
Mhm.
shows all of like all of the different channels as your main screen, and then you click one, and then the whatever channel that is takes over your full screen. Now,
Yes. Yeah.
what's happened now is that the list of channels is like 2/3 of the screen, and what the channel is like a tiny sliver. And because I think Discord thinks that it's technically open and it's bugged it, and I can't close Discord because I'll end up leaving the chat. So
You come
I
back in
guess
though. Come back
I
into
mean,
this, or can you come back in? You've got access, haven't you? So you can just come back in.
yeah, I guess so. Right, give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I think. Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh,
I was really tempted to stay quiet there.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just speaking to yourself.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare. I think it's just switching between the streams between like Twitch and stuff
Yeah.
is causing problems. So I'm just not going to do that. So I apologize to chat. I will not be engaging with you because it breaks stuff on my phone. I was about to say this ball doesn't look very safe.
Oh, it wasn't safe at all, was it? Because he snaked as he was trying to build around, and he's taking the pile now. So that's the ball down. Where's the bounce? It's not a terrible bounce,
It's
but
a
it's got
very
plenty
good
of orcs.
bounce.
There's plenty of orcs that can move around. We've got the super blitzer over here that can definitely sort of cause troubles on there. And in terms of the elves being able to consolidate this ball now, we've got a dodge out, we've got a down, we've got the two here. I think it's not working terribly well for him, really. I'm surprised he's gone for the pickup there. I probably wouldn't have gone for the pickup there. I'd have just stuck another orc on the outside and gone and almost like used it as bait and gone, there you go, guys. There's the ball. Bring in as many elves as you like, and we'll have a punch up on the sideline. So I'm
Well,
surprised he's gone for the pickup there.
I think the pickup's needed because I think like if you don't do the pickup there, you probably blitz the super player because why wouldn't you hit that thing? And then you just kind of like pick it up on a 3, hand it off on a 2, or wait with the sun. Is the sun on
It's the
catches or
sun. It's the sun on. Let's have a look at the sun because it actually tells you stuff now. So on
oh,
all
it's
passing
passing.
agility
Yeah,
tests, so it's just passing.
yeah, so you could just like bring in a player, then blitz off the super blitzer, and then you get to double up because you're hitting the super blitzer.
Yeah.
Then you just like go pick it up on a 3, hand it off to blodgy break tackle, and just go for a run again.
Mhm.
And then just pray that blodge works.
That's a big ask though, isn't it? Praying for blodge to work.
Yeah, it is.
Because when you want it to work, it just fails you. When you want it to work, it fails you. Blodge isn't real. Oh, a dodge in a tackle zone as well. Oh
Is that another snake? That's awful.
no, no, it was oh yeah, it was a snake as well on a reroll. Wow,
Yeah,
with the stun.
because they needed that player to dodge out and then come and blitz
Super
the
player,
super
yeah.
blitzer. So then the blodge one was gonna just run in 3+ dodge out and then gone. But 2 snakes, that's rough.
Yeah, two snakes at critical points as well. You know, first time round he was trying to build the cage, and then this time round it was the blitz that was effectively going to free up the ball. It's rapidly. This is one of the things that I still love about Blood Bowl is that regardless of how good you are or how many skills you get, the dice still dominate the game. The dice decide where the game's going, and you know we was talking in the first turns about, oh wow, the elves are through. This is it. It's a case of they're now going to be able to pick and choose when they score. Whereas now it's done a full 180 with a couple of unfortunately knuffle dice rolls, and it's now looking great for the Orcs to be able to defend this drive.
I think this might be over. I mean, I like the Orcs are really like leaning in here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I like leaning in here. I mean, it makes the ball super safe, right? So I get it, but I really thought that like Archangel was gonna like uh kind of just dodge out, pick the ball up, and then it's like right, it's completely safe. I guess Archangel's probably still going to do that. It's just he's caging a bit further back, but that's probably a smart decision. But I think
yeah, he's got a bit of everything in there, hasn't he? He's got the 2 players with tackle. He's got 2 players with guard. He's now starting to bring up the rest of the team, and again, I think sometimes leaving the ball on the floor isn't a terrible idea because you just go, "Come on, magnetize towards me," because I'm quite happy to go toe to toe with you.
I think the ball has to be picked up this turn. Like I feel like it has to be picked up because you don't want to give the elves a situation in where they just you don't want to give the elves a situation where they can push a player onto the ball and um make the ball go in weird directions. Like you don't want that.
Yeah, because you just need that one lucky bounce, don't you? To
Yeah,
be
bounces on a big one and then bobbles out again, and then all of a sudden an elf picks it up on a 3 and is just like, right, bye.
Oh, he's re-rolled it. He's re-rolled it to do the pickup.
Yeah, I did the same. The
Yeah, because
problem
you're
now is
absolutely
though, I
solid
mean,
there.
I'll be honest, I really thought that hmm, I mean it's a based cage.
Oh, that's a solid cage. You've got 2 strength 4s at the top with, you've got guard, on the one in the middle, so that if they try and come through, you've got tackle there. It's yeah, that's pretty solid in there.
Yeah, now they've moved the sneaky kit in.
Yeah.
it's pretty solid now. It's going to be what I mean, potentially 1 dice, but then you block your own path, so it's like what uphill into.
Which play is this?
I mean, you can go like so. The blodgy break tackle is like uphill onto the
Yeah,
down there, or I guess if
yeah.
you dodge out and mark some stuff, you've got on the other side. You've got the 1 dice with wrestle,
hmm
but then you've not really got anybody else over there that can realistically do very much. So it's gonna suck either way.
Yeah, it's trying to consolidate by picking up the players on the periphery. But again, if somehow he's able to get this ball out and get it down here, which elves do that, don't they? Oh wow, that's another snake. No way. That's like 3 snakes in 3 turns. That's horrendous.
Yeah, 3 snakes and I think 3 snakes in 4 turns.
4 turns, yeah.
That's yeah, that's how you lose games as elves.
Yeah.
That literally like you can't do anything about that. Like
No, the
you've just rolled snakes. You're elves. You're not getting the 3 dice on things, so you can't avoid it. And
elves are just gonna get smacked now, aren't they?
it's not gonna be very friendly. I'll say that much.
I suppose the only question here now is Archangel going to move the ball down the field to get a touchdown, which he's got 4 turns to do so, which ordinarily you're thinking, yeah, that's great, but this is Orcs, and it's still quite deep in his half, or do you just punch a load of elves and see how many removals you can do, because he's got a fair whack of mighty blow and stuff there, hasn't he?
I think I'm looking to score.
Yeah, I would want to score. Oh wow, he's just moved the ball in. This is oh wow, that's a that's a roll and a half, isn't it? 2 skulls and a both down. Wow.
You know
He's
what?
taking wrestle.
That's what he gets for being greedy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Nuffle remembers. Nuffle doesn't give and take. He just takes, and takes some more. I think he was planning to surf a load of elves then, just by taking up all of the squares and leaving them with no option but to go off the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably a good option, to be honest. But now things are a little bit weird. And now like scoring, it might be an afterthought.
Yeah, I think he's potentially going to get caught out for being greedy here. The removals are not coming, are they? He's not getting the downs.
No, he's rolling all the pushes.
He's definitely turned his push ball over here. And these elves, if somehow the ball can be dropped and fired to these elves, they are gone.
Yeah, I think the Elves' plan now is it's time to stop them from scoring. It's time to just like stand in their way because the Orcs aren't going to get through you anymore. That's why when Archangel decided to pick the ball up back there, like that's why I was a bit worried because I think I would have set up the cage further forwards and then I would have just like I mean it would have been way more of a gamble to do a 2+ dodge, 2+ pickup, and then run forward into the cage.
Yeah.
But if that happens, then you're like at the halfway line and you're very much in an area where you can score.
Oh, here comes foul.
I think I think he has to foul there. I don't think he's got a choice. Can't have the
Only
ball. Can't have the ball. Ooh, Apo used.
Yeah, more pushes. This has got to be frustrating for Ark now because I think it's been caught out for being a bit greedy.
There's potential. It's what like a 3-2 dodge for 1 dice on the ball. Not even needing a 3-2 dodge really. Can just
No, you
mark
could just mark and then just go in 1 dice on the ball. Yeah.
with wrestle as well, which is very good.
Mhm. Yeah, Russell soon makes a mockery of that block skill, doesn't it? I think we might see that coming as well because it looks like they're forming a shield or forming a barrier of bodies. I suppose it's a case of which elf are you going to stick in to get smacked next turn if it doesn't fall it off? Who's going to be the sacrificial market elf?
It's got to be the basic sidestep blitzer. I think with no skills, it's got the higher armor.
Interesting. Oh, okay. So he's looking for 2 dice on the ball. He's moving him back. He's making him work harder for it. He's just pushed the ball back.
Well, here it comes.
It's a push. Is he going to re-roll it, or he is re-rolling it, and it's got the POW. He's got the knockdown. But where does it go? Because it's a solid line of Orcs there, and he's got 2 down Elves here.
I think you've got to push it towards the Elves.
Yeah.
I think you've got to do it. And hopefully, maybe one of them catches it.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Lyman goes, yeah, cheers, thanks, I'll have that. Is it Lyman? Yeah, it is the Lyman. Oh, that's unlucky, that is.
Oh, that's miserable.
That is miserable. Because there's still a way through here. I mean, it's just the 1 elf here. You get rid of that, and you can start pouring through. Oh, he's gone for the dodge. Still movement 5, so it's not a blitzer movement, so it makes it even harder. So it's probably going to have to, if he wants to score, he's got to think about a handoff at some point.
Well, if I'll be wait 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be honest. This blitzer on the left with grab and guard, it's in range for a handoff on the very left.
This one right over here, yeah.
Yeah, like you can get in there without rolling any dice and hand it off.
Yeah, hand it off and then do a runner.
The problem is it's kind of hard to run away from elves because they're normally quite fast.
Just chase you down.
Yeah, but if he can get far enough away and can like hit some things, screen some things off, and I mean, even being forced to score on. Well, no, he's not going to be able to score on turn 7, is he? He's
No,
a bit slow for
no,
that. But
yeah.
actually, yeah, no, he can't do that. Unless the only way he's able to do that is if he can shut down the path for the elves, because
Yeah. They're
nah,
just
it's
going
not
to
going
turn
to
around and
happen.
chase him down.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's too
I
much of a
suppose.
gamble.
I suppose now I'd be thinking, me personally, if I'm in Archangel boots, I would be thinking, okay, I've been caught out being greedy. I'm not going to score now. How many elves can I remove? That's all I'd be thinking about now, is how many elves can I remove before I've then got to, go against them next half.
I mean, it's not even that. I think at this point, it's also, can I keep the ball safe?
I think the ball being safe with the amount of orcs he's got around him, with that have got guard, he's got his strength 4s there. I think that bit should really be almost a given.
I mean, you say that, but they got 1 dice last turn.
True. Oh, it's moving him down the field.
I
So
think
is the handoff going to be on?
I think he's gonna go for it.
That's what we're there. We're 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go for it. So he's got 2 go for it's to hand it off to that blitzer. Oh, nice pow. Ooh,
Very,
is it
very nice, pal.
stun? No, only a stun. He's got 1 reroll as well. Yeah, it's making quite a nice cage there as well.
The problem.
Oh. Okay. So he's just committing players forward, so he's got options to hand off in future.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the fouler's got the ball, so he can't hand off and foul, and there's an elf on the floor with wrestle and dodge in the pseudo cage.
I would
So
totally uphill that. I would get my stuff up and think, do you know what? I've got nothing to lose here. I will uphill that. Let's go. It would be 3 dice though, wouldn't it? Because of the 2 guards.
no,
Oh no, it
no,
won't be
still
3
2.
dice. It'll still be 2.
Yeah, it's only 3 uphill if they're more than double your strength. So it would need to be like 4 assists. I mean, I respect Archangel still going for the score.
Mm. It's
Still
got a
has
couple of
to
handoff options now.
still has to worry here though, because with the dodge and break tackle player, it is only.
Ooh.
Oh, that's rough.
Final reroll gone.
It is
Gets a big
only.
pal though.
I was going to say it's only a 4+ dodge to get into this mess, but
Got tacklers there though, aren't you? People with tackle, so you've got no rerolls now.
it's 1 dice on the ball now.
Yeah.
Wait, no, not 1 dice on the ball. Still uphill dice on the ball.
2
Sorry.
guards. Yeah, 2 guards.
Ooh. I mean, at least there's a sidestep for touching the ball to be annoying
Yeah.
ish.
Go for it. Oh, nice roll.
Oh,
Wow, what a roll.
disgusting.
What a roll.
Oh, he's pushing it towards catcher. He's pushing it towards the catcher. Oh god.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I
Oh,
think Arcangel's been fortunate where it's landed there.
it's Archangel has been extremely fortunate in this game.
Yeah, because like you say, if that pops out to the side as to where the super duper thrower had gone. Oh, that's unlucky. That's a both down with no rerolls. So what's he got left to protect here? So he's brought the thrower back, and then he's got the lineman here. But beyond that, there isn't a lot of coverage for. Well, I suppose he's still got to pick up the ball.
Well,
He's still got to
on
pick
the
it up.
Yeah, but picking up the ball's easy. He's got an edge 2+ player. So like, it's just grab the use grab on the wrestle dodge player to drag that off the super blitzer. Super blitzer picks the ball up.
Yeah.
Maybe kill the thrower. Hand off the ball to this blitzer, and then off you go. Really, but you need to kind of kill this catcher, I think.
Yeah. It's going. Oh, it's enough. Oh no, he's got wrestle. He doesn't have block. He's got the wrestle.
No, it's got both. It's got wrestle and block.
It's got wrestle and block. Wow.
Yeah, it's a blitzer.
I'd taken him out. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, now that just needs to get into scoring range, and then it's a quote unquote simple pickup and handoff job.
I'll tell you what, I'm saying nothing about simple in this game at the moment. So he's gone for the 2 over here. That's this big one's not having much joy. He likes pushing the Elves around.
Yeah, that big one needs sacking. Yeah, it needs to cover this now and make sure that's fine. That's fine. It just needed to get it out the way. Didn't even need a power really. Just needed to get it out the way.
For
So
his
now
super blitzer to pick up.
Yep. Now it's just like screen it off. 2+2+. Well, just 2+ run away. Probably fine. Yeah, I don't know about the extra rushes and stuff, but ooh, 3-die.
Yeah, I think with one reroll and you've got a hand off and catch on a 3 if you do want it. But yeah, this is looking good for Arch now. So can I make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 go for it or a handoff? So it's just a 3+ handoff with a reroll, and that's a touchdown.
Or it's a 2+2+ with a reroll. I think the 2-2 is better than just a straight 3. Because obviously, like it's a 1 in 6 and then a 1 in 36, or a 1 in 36 and then a 1 in 6 versus just a straight 1 in 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, Khornight has been shafted by dice in this one, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Yeah, animosity could be a thing for the handoff as well.
Yeah, that's very true there. Very true on the animosity.
As pointed out by Math there. But yeah, Khornight just dice have been awful. You know, the scatters haven't particularly gone in favour either, have they? Still got this guard to contend with as well. Here's the blitz with a wrestler.
Chance. Nope.
Push. Got to take the push, which pushes him one closer.
No, pushes him one back, and that puts him out of range, which means he
Then
does
he has
have
to
to
go
do
the
the
handoff.
handoff now. Ooh.
Forces the handoff.
I mean, that's better than nothing. I mean, I could have gotten powers again, but yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's reasonable.
What's this here? This is alignment, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go for it to hit. Push out the way. And then just hit with a block. Big un. Yeah, he's going to make it extremely difficult now.
Well, you can do it from the other side.
Yeah.
Remember, like that blitzer. I mean, technically, you don't even have to do the blitz, really. You could just move that lineman out the way and then just do 2+ dodge into handoff. Like,
yeah. Oh,
so
yeah, because he's got the higher agility, hasn't he? I keep forgetting he's got the higher agility.
And he's got break tackle as well.
Yeah.
So it's basically you've got a choice between dodging out on a 2, or you can swing the. Oh no, it is just dodge out on a 2.
Dodge out on a 2. Yeah, move the lineman out the way. Dodge out on a 2. Hand off, and away you go. And then you've just got the 3+ catch, the animosity, and you've got 1 reroll.
Oh, there's stuff happening at the top end of the field. There's green
Wrestle.
blocks happening.
Wow. I'll tell you what, that's brave because I'd be wanting that reroll down here.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
let's
doing
zoom out of it.
anything.
No, whoa! It's not scoring.
Oh wait, no. You can chain push. You can chain push. His
Oh, is he
agility.
looking to chain push the agility person?
Yeah. Yeah. Although, yeah. Otherwise, that would have been a crazy play.
Yeah. Oh, it's got the frenzy as well.
Push. I think you push diagonally. Keep
Yeah,
going
you
diagonally.
have to push. Oh, he took the down instead of the push. That's interesting.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. He's back in range now.
More greed blocks.
More greed blocks. When you've got 2 go for it rolls that you need to take. And a dodge. So you're 3-2 ups for a touchdown and a reroll.
I mean, that's easy, right? There's never any doubt. Ooh, tripwire. Ooh, tripwire.
Oh, I've made it. The reroll paid off.
Yeah, if there was any time where Khornight was like, I've had 3 trip ones, I've had 3 double ones, sorry, like, you deserve one now. That would have been the time.
That absolutely would have been time. Well, both the knockouts have woken up. So has Khornight got a full 11? 3, 6, 9. Yep.
Yeah.
Khornight's got 11 behind the ball.
Well, the other thing is now is that the Orcs don't have to score.
No. The Orcs
So-
just sit on the ball and go, come at me, bro.
I have a feeling this half is going to be about trying to pick away the guard players.
Yes.
And then once the guard players are out of position or removed from the field, if you're lucky, it's then up to the break tackler to get in there for a 1 dice.
Yeah.
On a 4. And then hope to all hell you roll a POW and you kill everything and it scatters and lands into a catcher's hands and it runs away.
Yeah. Which let's be really honest, Khornight is owed some luck from Nuffle after that first half. I mean, the three snakes from 4 turns was just brutal. And like you say, that just ruins Elves.
It's really, really hard to win a game. It's really hard to draw a game when the dice are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing that screws Elves is the double 1, for the most part.
Absolutely, and especially when it happens as early in the turn as what it did for Khornight as well. I mean, the first one wasn't particularly bad because it was a 1 dice on the ball, but then the second and third time it happened, it was early in the interactions, and there was just so many Elves that were just based and out of position.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first one was still bad because it was still 2 dice from the big one, but like it was at least salvageable even if it went wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas the second and third ones were like, yeah, there's no salvaging this, you're in trouble now.
Mm-hmm.
And Khornight still managed to make something of it because, wow.
Oh wow, quick snipe as well for Ark. Yeah, some of those extra blocks up the field, Matt, it was just greedy. And to be fair, if you've only got 1 reroll, and all it needs is a few skulls here and there, and all of a sudden you've lost your opportunity to score.
This is an interesting choice. They've put in the wrestle, tackle, dauntless plus armor on under the ball. I don't like this choice because
I suppose it saves you taking it away from the thrower.
But the thrower has block and plus movement, and this thing doesn't have plus movement and has wrestle, which means that if something uphills you or whatever, it's not good. You end up on the floor potentially.
Ah, there you go. Fails to catch it. That was the ploy all along.
Ah, yes, of course. The infamous, I knew I was going to fail that catch.
Well, worst case scenario, you run away and you hand it off to somebody else, don't you? This is where, as an elf player, you're just hoping that the removals are not brutal. I've got to put 3 elves on the line and they're going to get smacked in.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully there's a lot of randoms on this orc team, so it's not like all super like min maxy and super efficient. And there's like some players that like that one that's got grab instead of like mighty blow. And
Yep.
But yeah, if the orcs pick the ball up and just kind of sit there with it, it's going to be really, really annoying and difficult to do much about it. Oh, DK, are we in the same season? We're in the same division this season, right?
We are in the same division this season. I was having a scooch through the fixtures to see when we face each other. We're not towards like middle, towards back end of the season.
That's probably
Are
for
you?
the best for me, to be honest.
Why? You've got plenty of time to build up your team then.
Exactly. I'm running a fresh team.
You know what? I really, really don't envy your position though, because you're starting off with 1 million. There are 3 teams that are on 1400 because they've stayed in from last season, and one of them's a human team that's got a decent amount of bash in it. One of them's an orc team which has got a huge amount of bash in it, and then the other one is another dark elf team, which has really been designed around sort of agility and moving away. But those 3 and the league favourite, as nominated by Phil as well, drew the first game against the Undead. And to be fair, the Undead and the Nurgle team have both got plenty of fight in them, because the division that they came out of, which was the same as me, which was Drakewall Forest, it was literally top to bottom with bash teams. I think there was only 3 of us that were playing agility teams. There was me with Dark Elves, there was somebody with Elven Union, and then there was the Wood Elf. The Wood Elf run away with the league, but the rest of it was bash, so the rest of them built their teams to deal with bash.
Yeah. I mean, that was. I'm a bit worried, but I'm also like, oh, this season doesn't really mean anything. It's kind of just like if I can survive and make some stuff happen, like, and weirdly enough, the 1400 teams are the ones that I'm not necessarily worried about, because I'm going to get 400k in inducements, right? So like, I can maybe have some fun and mess around with some of the weirder inducements.
Take a Helmet Wolf and see how many players you can take out before he gets sent off.
Well, I mean, there's Aspirin Thorn, which I've not seen really anybody use, and 150k is basically a ooh, that's unfortunate dodge and a KO there. Aspirin Thorn is 150k and is basically like a thrower type player, and their special rule is that once per game they can throw the ball and ignore all negative modifiers, which
So
means you
just
can
launching it.
yeah, you can throw it 12 squares on a 2+, and he's got pass. So like that's basically succeeding.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Do you know what? I'll have to think about that one when I come across those teams, because unfortunately, towards the tail end of the season, I had Nuffle kick me right in the nuts. It was terrible. I played a game against a Blork team, and they only had I think they only had they might have only had three of the Blorks and a Troll. And I think I managed to knock out and casualty 2 goblins, whereas they broke my armor 20 times. So it was just one of them games where I'm like, yeah, I thought this was going to be straightforward, and yeah, 8 armor's really hard to break.
Yeah.
I believe it is still sunny, math. Yeah, sunny, still very sunny at the moment. Yeah, Mark keeps telling me that I've got to get over that blowout game that cost me second place last year.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens, right? That's kind of why I wanted to play Dark Elves. I was playing Skaven, and the team was great, but I wanted something with a little bit more longevity, and like, I mean, I really liked Skaven, but I'm not really. I don't know. It's kind of just the way the game is, right? The way the rule set is, the way everything's set up. It's like, yeah, I want to play whatever the meta is.
Hmm.
Like, and unfortunately, the meta isn't massively fun, but at least the funnest I can make it is Dark Elves, because I still get a little bit of that like elf BS, but I also have a little bit of armor, so that's all right. But yeah, also there's a crap load of elf stars that I can actually use for a
There
change.
is. Yeah, well, like you say, there's the thrower. There is the squiddly diddly face, who can be squiddly diddly face. That's what he is, squiddly diddly face.
I don't know his name.
No, I
Is
don't
it?
either.
No,
That's why I
it's
call him squiddly
no,
diddly face.
it's Kiroth Krakeneye. That's the one.
Yeah.
Um, then you've got like Roxana,
Yep.
Jordell,
Yep. Jordan Breeze.
a
Turn red
wiz-
venom.
a wizard, Eldril.
Yeah,
See,
you've
I've got a lot of options.
no, definitely, definitely, and like you say, with the one that you mentioned, I mean, that's probably gone over my head quite a few times. But the ability to throw a 12 square 2++ with a reroll with no modifiers, that's huge. Oh, it's
um,
failed the roll.
like
Still
Mark
got
said, there's,
reroll for a pow.
there is also I think it's Kurnoff, I think as well, which is it's kind of like a discount Jordell.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about like especially like Aspirin Thorn, for example, is the fact that no one really knows or uses him because he's not an official star at the moment. So like he's not available for tabletop. So
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
yeah. So basically, when the development of BB3 was starting, um, what happened was, oh,
Oh,
big
it's got a nice
foul,
removal. Nice removal. It's only a
big
badly
foul.
though. It's only a badly though.
Do you Apo it though?
I think at this point in the game, probably not, because is he going to get the opportunity to return this half with
No,
where the ball is and the intention? Probably not.
no.
So I won't
Um,
waste it.
yeah. So yeah, when BB3 was being created, essentially, GW was like, here's a list of all of the potential star players. This was back in probably like 2019, 2019,
Yeah,
2020. Um, and then like Cyanide and Acon just were like, right, we'll pick these, and then we'll just you know get the models done and stuff, and then get them ready for release.
yeah.
Um, but some of them didn't make the cut from GW, so like you've got stuff like Aspirin Thorn, you've got I think Kurnoff Darkwold or something like that. Maybe I can't remember
So,
the last name.
so you've essentially got star players in the game that aren't in tabletop that people are probably unaware of, unless you scroll
Yeah,
through them all.
like Anki Panky was in BB3 before it like got released from like GW, and then you've got like Madcap Migs, who is awful, but I love Madcap Migs.
Madcap Migs, Gobbler Grimlich.
Yeah, exactly, right. So you got all these like star players, and they have special rules and stuff that are from like GW that they've just either not made it to tabletop yet, or they just didn't make the cut, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll get them later on with maybe some changes to them, or they're just gonna maybe stay in BB3 as they are, and
Mhm.
they might not come to tabletop. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's some fun players out there. I think also Horcron Heartripper as well has got like essentially just like a 2+ cage dive with stab and has
Which
like
is
multiplier
ridiculous,
and
isn't it?
stuff.
Just
So like,
ridiculous.
yeah, like there's some crazy star players that have not hit the tabletop scenes yet, and I'd really like them to like, you know, come on GW, get them stars in there, because like some of them are really cool and quite good.
Yeah.
What do you do here if you're the Orcs?
Do you know what? If I'm the Orcs, I've got no intention of scoring. I'm going to make sure I've got a solid cage every turn, and I'm just going to hit stuff that's in front of me.
Do you make the classic meat cube? Just like all 9 squares. Oof, you can't get in.
Um, I think that's excessive, but do you know what? Whatever it takes to not let score. See, this is probably what I wouldn't do though. I wouldn't be keen on going over one side. I mean, while you go over one side, yes, it means that you've got a bigger wall of bodies to get through. But if one body gets through and just shoves you off the pitch, and that ball goes flying, it's just
Well, let's
I,
be real. A body's not getting through that.
no, but it's always the what if, isn't it? I mean, let's face it, it's still a dice game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. And you know, if it was against me, you know, some random would be getting in there. Just, oh yeah, I'll just roll 6s. It's fine.
It'd probably be Lord Gibby try freaking snipe you as well, wouldn't it?
Thankfully, Lord Gibby doesn't snipe me very often. It's always Blitzy that snipes me.
Blitzy the sniper.
Blitzy, yeah, Blitzy snipes absolutely everybody who streams. The only good thing is like is that, well, um at the moment Blitzy's like near top of the ladder with Nurgle, so I don't see Blitzy very much anymore, thankfully. Um, but
You've said farewell to him. Farewell, see you later.
yeah, but when he does snipe me, I always dice the crap out of him.
So you're secretly like, yeah, dice me some more, dice me some more. Yeah, I think if I'm the Orcs, I've got no intention of scoring. I'm gonna make sure that I'm secure, and I'm just gonna go. How many Elves can I hit this turn? And just I would be really safe in terms of like my blockers. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I'll tell you what,
That's
honestly, Khornight has just not had the joy at all.
I'm very tempted to just hit the super blitzer here. Like hit the
Yeah.
super blitzer, it do a chain to push it into all your rest of your players, and then you just like stick the boot in and you just keep going with it.
It's
Khornight's got other ideas.
yeah. Super Blitz is going down.
Going down, but not getting chain pushed towards the rest of his team to stick the boot in, which I'm sad about. Because Orcs don't get their armor broken very often.
No.
Oh, we're off to the left.
Oh, this is over here. We're 2-on-1.
Oh, we've rolled a POW. Yeah, well, I mean, like now that Archangel has, I guess, committed to this side of the field,
Mm-hmm.
um, he's stuck.
I'm not sure because he's got the strength for frenzy and big unblocker, hasn't he? So he's got this piece that he could use to smash through pretty much anywhere if he so chooses to wish to. But there's nothing wrong with literally just hunkering down here and going, yeah. I mean, it's a shame that his guard pieces are in the middle here, but I suppose they're there to protect the ball. And as long as the ball is in this Orc's hands, you don't really care what's going on the rest of the field.
Yeah, you definitely need to you need to get a bit more.
Oh, good old bit of Juggernaut.
For a second there, I forgot that Juggernaut cancels wrestle.
Yeah, just goes, no, mate, you're not wrestling me. I do want to try from a team this season build a Juggernaut Witch Elf.
That's my plan. That's going to be like one of my first. Like, I'm not really designing my team to do very much in the first season. The one thing I want is I want dodge on my blitzers. I want juggernaut on my witch, and that's all I want. Like,
and then you go, let's go.
and then we see how much like plus armor I can stack on things.
Yeah, this season for me, if I finish top half, I'll be happy with that because
I'll be there to
yeah.
make sure that doesn't happen.
Cheers. Yeah, if I finish top half, I'll be happy. But this season for me is very much a team building season. I want to get a few pieces that are getting towards that superstar status, so that next season I can compete for a title push or a promotion push. But I think if I find myself in the top 3 again, it'll be more through luck than anything else. 'Cause I just think there's far too many bash teams. In fact, not bash teams so much, but the teams that have come up from a division that are set up for bash. There's quite a lot of there's quite a nice mix of agility and bash in our division now.
Yeah,
So
I think
we've got 3 dark elf teams.
Yeah, the higher you go up, the more bashy it gets. I think. Oops, pardon me. Yeah, the higher up you go, the more bashier it gets because the more likely you are to see orcs and
Yep.
necro and undead.
Yeah.
But I mean, thankfully, there's still people like Khornight kicking around who's playing stuff like Elven Union, so that's nice. Just a bit of a
I'll tell
a
you what,
shame.
he's slowly working his way around the back, isn't he, Khornight? He's been moving these pieces over to the left hand side, taking advantage of that lone orc, and he's slowly been weaseling them around.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the orcs, I feel like the orcs have a pretty big chance to push forwards if they want to push forwards.
Oh
Next
yeah,
turn.
absolutely. Yeah. There's not enough bodies to stop all that. Another, surely not. No, he didn't take the reroll.
No reroll on that one. I think Khornight's realized that like orcs don't have to score; they're more than happy to sit here.
Yeah, he has to do something.
Yeah,
He
and
has
to
to make
do
something
something,
happen.
that's going to involve some scary dice. And if you have to use scary dice, you're going to need the rerolls.
Well, he's sneaking his prize blitz around the back.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's a 3+ dodge to get in.
Yeah, and like Maths just mentioned, Khornight's still got 3 rerolls at the moment. So, oh, look at that pow straight away, which then closes the gap there.
And I'm guessing something's going to get kicked in the head in a second.
Yeah, you can quite easily see that coming. Yeah,
Wait a
it's
minute.
consolidating the ball. You're thinking to get around and get a 1 dice?
It can reach. It can
1,
reach.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dodge for 7, 1, 2. Yeah, it can.
Like it can get there.
2 up dodges.
Yeah, that's all you need, right? Like I went against someone that's like regularly near the top of the ladder. They were playing orcs. I was playing
Ooh.
underworld. They gave me 3+3+ for 1 dice on the ball with wrestle, and I took it, and I took the ball off them and ran away. So
I've done my fair share of uphills when I've got like a bludger or a wrestler and gone, yeah, go on, I'll take an uphill. And the uphills come clutch.
I mean, if it's the play, it's the play. It's that kind of deal.
There we go. It's completely consolidated in now. Oh yeah, it's completely boxed in.
Uh-oh. Here comes the boot. Here comes the boot.
Is he booting? There we go.
It's
Done
only
now.
a stun. That's nice. Failed dodge again.
Fail dodge again.
Oh, he's re-rolled that one. He's not wanted to deal with any BS on that finally.
No.
That
He
player
wanted
has
to
been like
close the gate.
useless.
Yeah, he's just got kicked around this blitzer, hasn't it? Queen Mathis of all the players that was getting kicked around, Math.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I think now what you try to do is squeeze this area in and see if you can do a bit of chain pushing just to try and poop something out, aren't you? Hey guys, I'm casting with EV at the moment.
I know. I'm just, I'm a mini celebrity in the Blood Bowl sphere.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know
I
if I'd
feel
ever go that far, but
I feel privileged to sit in your shadow and be your co-commentator.
let's not inflate my ego.
Why?
I don't think anyone wants that. I know I don't, because if I don't want to get out of control.
So there you go, chat. If you want to hear EV absolutely go and inflate the ego, just keep giving it a little nudge.
Oh God.
Oh, Mr. Affliction, BB Blood Bowl is ever so easy to get into. It's so easy to get into. It's like probably the easiest Games Workshop game to pick up and get into,
Yeah,
even
I
with
mean,
all the other skirmish games.
yeah, I mean, like obviously the video game has its challenges.
Yes,
Overall, just because there's no in-game rule book. But if you want one, I can sort that out.
I got one
Um,
up.
um, I have an online PDF that I can help people out with. But like for the most part, like there's no in-game rule book, so it kind of sucks, and the tutorial it also sucks. But everybody in the community is always super helpful, and you can play versus the AI, although the AI is very bad. We're still waiting on the Eternal League to be um, beta tested and stuff. Um, but like you can basically just go against the AI, or you can go in hot seat mode where you can select two teams and you control them both, and you can basically just like put the timer on unlimited, so you're under no stress whatsoever, and you can just kind of like figure out mechanics and figure out how things work.
I think the biggest thing for me coming from tabletop after such a long break and literally coming straight into Blood Bowl 3 was the user interface and having to manually do the pathing because the pathing's really weird. But yeah, getting used to the UI and the pathing, that took a fair few games to get my head around.
I mean, sometimes the pathing's absolutely fine, and then other times it's like, oh no, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's going to take
Um,
you through the wildest freaking dice rolling session you've ever seen in your life.
yeah, but I mean, I think like the thing about the UI is it's like every game in existence. Once you know how things work, you're absolutely fine.
Totally agree.
Like
Totally agree.
like the main reason why like Call of Duty and stuff is so easy to get into is because everybody knows what it is. It's a point and click, and you just shoot stuff, and you can run, you can crouch. Everybody knows those controls, even if you're like 3 years old.
Yep.
Um, but like more complex games, like board games, and just other stuff that's not more mainstream, you're gonna have to take some time to learn the mechanics. But once you learn the mechanics and how the mechanics work in the game, you'll be absolutely fine.
It's slowly chipping away, Khornight. Khornight is slowly chipping away and basically consolidating all these orcs into a nice little tight area, but he's running out of turns. I mean, he's got 2 turns now to try and get the ball to poop out somewhere and then run off and score. I think it's going to be a bit of a much of an ask, really.
Yeah, I think it's looking like an anticlimactic end of just Archangel going, "I'm in a box, leave me alone,"
Yeah,
and
I'm in my hidey hole.
that's about it, really. I don't really see very much happening, which is a real
No, I don't
shame.
either.
But
No,
because
I
like
don't either.
Archangel's like, I'm not
Uh,
going to risk a score. There's no point.
got no read,
And
no need. Yeah.
and Khornight's been prodding, but is there? Wait, one, three,
Who
four, five,
else?
six, seven, eight, nine. 10. So only the one removal off that foul earlier on.
Yep. I mean, there's so much here. I mean, there's the 2 guard here. We've got the 3rd guard up now, which is just a massive meat shield against all these.
The only issues that there is here is the thing on the floor, which is probably going to get a boot, and then the thing with the break tackle, which has the potential to do a spicy play.
Yes.
Because it just can, and it's a bit of a risk hitting it because it's got sidestep and stuff.
Yeah, and you could end up pushing it into an area that makes it even more of a pain in the ass to get rid of. He's trying to shove him out of the way. Here comes the sidestep.
Well,
Oh no, he's ejected him out.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you really.
No, because you're just going to get smacked, aren't you, from one player to the other, and you'll get a power eventually.
Yeah, I guess the only upside was maybe that you get stuck in there a little bit, but
Is the foul that you're talking about just a stun now? It's not a removal.
yeah, but like what do you do here?
There's not a lot you can do, really, is there? There's not a great deal of push options you can do.
I think
You've only
is it
two,
just is
two
it
based elves.
is it 4+ dodge uphill?
Has to be. If you're gonna throw like a dice at it, that is it. But then what you've also got to think about is Khornight's going to need this team going into the next season, isn't it? Is he going to risk that elf falling over or being in the middle to get blocked a lot of times to potentially get removed or deaded? So do you just turn around and go, "Yep, fair dues. I'll keep my pieces for next season," or do you go for it? I mean,
I know what I would do.
yeah, probably the same as me, which is, you know what? I've got next season to think about. Well done. Cheers very much.
Oh
You're the
no,
champion.
I'm in the complete opposite boat. I'm like, I'm going for it. I don't care if stuff dies. Like, I'm in the complete opposite boat, and that's my main problem is that I play every game to win, and if my players are expendable, they're expendable. I don't care if it's a lineman, a positional, superstar. If it can use its body to just do something so I can win the game, that is what is
It's
happening.
it's
And
having it.
and that's when all my players die and I get sad.
Oh, here we go. It's the uphill. It's got to be re-rolled. Power and a push.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Gotta follow up, I think.
You have to follow up. The problem is, though, is he's now surrounded by tacklers. Oh, there's one tackle there.
It's time for push bowl.
It is time for push ball.
Khornight also needs a scoring threat.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking the same thing as you, saying it out loud. It's got to have one elf forward as a scoring threat just in case. But yeah, you've got a feel for Khornight in that first half, haven't you? I mean, those first 4 turns just broke him. In fact, it wasn't for the first 4 turns. It was turns through. What was it? Turns 2 through to 5.
It was
Just
turns
absolutely did him in.
2, 4, and 5, where it all just went. Or it might have been 2, 3, and 5.
2, 3, and 5 because he had the reprieve in the middle, didn't he?
Yeah, and it just went not good. Yeah, I agree with the chat. It is the finals. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Well, there's
Quad
always
skulls.
chance of a snake, isn't there? Yeah. Quad skulls
I
on the
guess it's gonna
cards.
be it's gonna be 3 dice. Hexa skulls.
Who was it I was watching? He was on before BB, and in the previous game he rolled 3 skulls, which basically it was just a greed roll. Anyway, he then proceeds to then go play the next game, and right at the very end, he's like, "No, I'm not gonna take 2 skulls. I got to make sure I've got 3 because we know what happened last time." And he literally rolled 3 skulls again, and it was like, wow. If there was ever a time of famous last words, that was it.
Yeah, that's painful. Like I've done it before. It's like, do I just take the 2D? You know what? Let's not be lazy. Let's make it 3D. And then you see double skull pop up, and you're like, ooh, ooh, it was very nice of me to do the 3 dice. Didn't screw me over.
I get caught out with that quite a lot when I go for a 1 dice. So if I've got a 1 dice, I'm like, yeah, anything but a skull, and I'm fine. And then I'll proceed to roll 2 skulls one after another and go, oh yeah, great, cheers, thank you, Nuffle. This is where the sidestepper could come into its own.
I mean, this is the only way. This is the only way things happen.
Yeah, absolutely the only way. And he doesn't have a tackler now, so it's in full blodge mode as well.
No, it does have tackler on the Super Blitzer because they've not blitzed yet.
Yeah, this is free, yeah.
So they could wrap round and hit it, but if
Yeah.
that doesn't take it down,
If that doesn't take it down, you're like, yeah, I think there's some heavy cogs and calculations going on right now because, okay, you know, Archangel can't score now and doesn't need to score, but it's got to be right. I've got to consolidate my position here because there are 3 scoring threats all sat here, which in the event of this ball going down, they're going to jump on it like flies on poop. Yeah, here's the Blitzer. So eye rolls a pow anyway. And then would you? So here's the question: would you have your? Well, you don't need to. It's injured it, KO'd. I think that pretty much cements it now, doesn't it? The only fear there was that he was going to get up and blitz, but he ain't getting up nowhere now.
don't you dare. Don't you dare.
You know he's going to smack it, don't you? You absolutely know it's going to happen.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
What the side stepping break tackler? Why wouldn't you hit the side stepping break tackler? Oh, just so that when he doesn't knock him down, he goes boop, and then just like on the ball.
Uphill knocks the ball off the pitch, it lands in a catcher's hands, and it goes and scores.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I think you do just what? Dodge this? Is it? It's oh god, it's not very.
That's terrible. Yeah.
It's a 5. Wait,
That's a
2,
dauntless.
3, 4, 5, 6 minus. Yeah, it's a 5 plus dodge, which is not ideal.
And
With
the tackle zone as well.
But I mean, if Khornight's going to use some rerolls, it's going to be on that.
So would you use the catcher that's down, or would you use the blitzer? Because they're both in the same. I'm thinking I'd use the catcher if I'm going to go for it.
There's a chain push on her. There's some chain pushes on her. Oh, he's getting all the dice.
Oh, here he comes. That's another one down. Oh wow! Look at that, 2 pounds in a row.
There's 3 in a
He's
row.
doing it. Oh look, here's the chain push, so we can get up and blitz on the ball.
3
Look at
pounds
this.
in a row.
He's there now. Oh, has to. No, there's the attacker down.
Oh, that's it. Unlucky.
It's all over.
Oh, that was really nicely played.
That was
I knew
nice
there
to
was some
play.
chain push shenanigans on there, but unlucky.
So let's see. Let's see if we get. I suppose I better unmute some people now, haven't I? Let me
Yeah,
unmute.
I'm doing the same thing. Let me unmute. There we
We
go.
have Archangel officially unmuted now. I wonder if he can hear us back.
Probably not. Still speaking
just listening into his little world. Let's
Hey,
go
how you
back to
doing?
the replay then.
How you doing, Khornight? Commiserations, you got as I can only say, thoroughly shafted in the first half by the dice.
Very
Those
much
three,
so.
those three double ones were kind of problematic, should we
To say
say?
the least.
I think
Yeah.
that's a
We were
polite word
talking
for it.
about the same thing. Yeah, we were saying the same thing. I mean, to have your turn disrupted by 3 snake eyes within 4 turns was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, well, and like these things happen, right? Three snakes is kind of is kind of what you should expect in a game. I think it's like or if you roll as many dice as I do, that's how many snakes you should expect.
Yeah, you just don't want them in. You don't want them in like back-to-back turns.
Yeah. The fact that well, in fact, they weren't just like I think 2 of them were at the beginning of the consecutive turns after the first one, right? So the first one was like, oh, it's the end of the turn. I'd done a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. But then obviously the beginning of the next one to start with a snake, and then I think it was the beginning of the next one. Maybe I did a couple of actions. I can't remember.
Yeah, so in turn 2, where you was running away with the ball, like you say, you had the fall down at the end of the turn, which both me and EV said, it wasn't ideal, but it was recoverable. You was in a position where you could have can't even speak, could have recovered,
Yeah.
but then you had a turn where you was fine, where you didn't get your snakes, and then you just had like turns 4 and 5, which was so early in the turn to get a snake, and it's just like completely destroyed it. Or your elves are based or not been picked up, and it just absolutely ruined your game, really, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and it's like it kind of it's kind of it's one of the ones one of the games one of the problems with the game sometimes where you feel like you're not getting to play at all, right? I don't really mind if I'm no. How do I say this without being rude? I don't mind it. I don't mind if I'm
We're Blood Bowl players. We know dice rule the game. It is what it is.
I don't mind it when I'm being outplayed, but some when you just snake at the beginning of a turn and just everything's based, it's like it doesn't feel quite like you're being outplayed as much, does it?
No, it feels like you're playing the dice instead of the game. I've been there sometimes. So I fully agree with you. Like that double, like 2 turns in a row with double one is killing. And I agree with you. Yes, you should expect like 3 snake eyes, but you shouldn't expect them in like almost 3 turns consecutive. Like that's the normal wisdom, right? That's the thing that breaks the camel's back, right? So definitely.
Yeah, and I did think that maybe if I could like stop you from scoring, and I had a few lucky dice as well. I red diced you twice, and like I think I disrupt. I felt like I disrupted. You getting the ball and made it as hard as I could, but where after you scored, it was it was problematic. Let's say.
Oh, it's a more or less impossible situation to get out of. Like having to force the Orcs to give up the ball and score. Like when they don't even have to make anything, that's more or less impossible because.
Yeah.
That's what we said. We were just like, he's gonna turn into a blob of Orcs, and then Khornight's gonna have to pick apart the guard if possible, and just pick apart players and see what happens. And then like is gonna at the end of the day gonna have to roll some crazy dice. Which, to be fair, Khornight, rolling lots of 1 dice powers, you were getting there near the end. You just needed a couple more.
To be fair, though, it was turn 16, wasn't it, where it was pretty much over unless something special happened, which was a shame. But yeah, like you say, Khornight, we're all Blood Bowl players. We've all been there. It's very much a case of sometimes you are just playing against the dice instead of the game.
Yeah.
Not much you can do.
Yeah, and also like comparing the 2 teams as well. The team of Orcs with Guard, Mighty Blow everywhere, and what feels like a pretty threadbare team of Elves. Also I feel like is a problem of the new rules. Let's say.
Well, I mean that's Elves in a nutshell, right? They're all just like, even Elven Union, the quote unquote cheap elves are not cheap. And like because you're low armor, you need to have a bench. And if you have a bench, let's say you've got 2, 3 players as a bench, 13, 14 players, that means you've got like 120 to 180 for Elven Union of K of like team value, not on the field, which when your roster
Massive.
is expensive as well on top, like that's just huge, right? It's unbelievably huge.
Yeah.
And then also, you factor in that like most, I think actually no, all elf teams, regardless if they're the cheap elves or not, can't get their positional players, like in their starting roster.
Yeah, and well, I wasn't really complaining so much about the cost of the elves as the cost of the orcs. I do think orcs are too cheap, right? Like we're seeing a glut of orcs across most of the leagues I play in.
Orcs is I think in many we talked about this the other day also on stream, and it's like orcs, like the orc lineman for me is like a perfect example of a player like most teams would die to be able to buy a lineman for 50k that has 10 plus armor value and 5 movement, right? That's just, most teams would really love that type of player. And orcs, it's like, yeah, I have better options, right? That, and I think that tells you a lot about the orcs.
I mean, I think it's mainly the armor, but like it's the fact, like I understand, like there's like from the base teams, so you've got like the human team, which has got 1 less armor and 1 more movement, and then you've got the Skaven team with 1 further less armor and 1 more movement, and then the orc team that's got 1 less movement and 1 more armor. So like on a quote unquote balance point, they're all 50k, so that seems balanced because you're just rejigging the stats. But I think for the most part, it's the rule set really. It's, Claw, Mighty Blow not stacking and no more piling on means that claws aren't nearly as deadly as they used to be. And then that means that orcs are just better because they're high armor. And if claws aren't as deadly, they're more in the meta. And then also, obviously, the huge buff of making Big Uns movement 5.
Yeah,
whoever came up with that was absolutely terrible. Big Uns movement 5 was just, oh my word.
Yeah,
it means that like it's much harder to make orcs position poorly now.
I think, in all fairness, I don't think it's the claw. I think it's more actually the agility play overall, both the dodging, the passing, and the catching that needs to be buffed. I think the bashing, if you look at chaos kill teams versus dwarves versus orcs versus other like damage teams, right? They seem to be fairly balanced. Where the math sort of breaks is the bash versus the agile play. I think it's more of the problem that I get why we nerfed throwing a bit, but they didn't just do a bit; they nerfed it a lot, and I think that's maybe where things have screwed the other way. Like, and also because
think it's also. It's also, I think, ball safety, right? Because I think it's kind of like all compounded, right? Because like you've made the passing stats, so not everybody can pass anymore, which kind of shafts the passing. But then you've got like the kickoff events, so like they're less volatile. So like you've got like stuff like blitz kickoff, which is you don't get to use your skills anymore. You only get to use like 4 to 6 players now. So it's a hell of a lot more like gambly.
And wildly inaccurate also just again compounds it in the wrong direction, right? Because it's all like you can't just then toss the ball far away.
Yeah. Like, I mean, then you've also got skills like on the ball, which I like on the ball. Don't get me wrong, but like on the ball plus stat ups on everything with like double movement on any player. That's your ball carrier. So like, I mean, you essentially like once you get playing a little bit, you're like orcs have quote unquote the slowest ball carrier at movement 7, and movement 7's fast. And then that's if they don't use a goblin, and then the goblin's movement 8. Everything else in the game has got a movement 8 ball carrier or movement 9.
I mean, we didn't see it in this game, but the more or less being able to choose move up on bash teams is a real issue, right? Like having movement 8 runners, and
I think it's also a cost issue. Like why is movement up only 20k? Can anyone please explain that to me? I don't get it.
Mathmus is saying I risked wildly inaccurate on turn 1 for the pass in the chat. I just was it bad weather?
Sunny, yeah, it was sunny.
Fine.
Yeah.
1 in 9. Who cares?
But yeah, like I mean, I think that movement could go up to 40k and would be completely fine. But I think the most important change that I would do is actually like the stat table. I think if you make it so that movement and passing swap places, you see a hell of a lot less movement, and you probably see way more passing. And I think that's probably a healthier direction. I mean, most likely people would then probably just go, no, I'm not doing passing, and then they take armor instead. So then you just increase armor in cost.
In fairness, I would actually rather see that stats are like a table, like any other you get to pick, but the costs are much higher. Like if you want movement, you get to pay 40. If you want passing, it's going to cost you 30. If you want armor, it's going to cost you 20. And if you want strength, it's going to cost you 60. So you still can take them. You could pick whatever you want. Makes more sense to me anyway. It seems weird that you need to be randomly getting what you need to get with what we've done with all the other skills. But
I don't like it. But
we need to balance the cost then. But yeah.
I mean, every single Blood Bowl player has their own ideas about what needs to be fixed in the rules, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
And they are all wildly different, and they're all sometimes at odds with each other. But like part of the problem is that it's a house of cards, right? And when you change one, like as we see with the piling on claw nerf, I do agree. I think it's gone too far. I think claw teams should put more fear into the AV10 teams than they do, and the both piling on. I don't mind piling on being nerfed. I don't mind the claw might blow nerf, but I think together they're too much.
I think you know what I can actually say that like I think when everybody saw the rule set and everyone was like, oh look at that, piling on's gone, mighty blow and claw, and that's not stacking anymore. Ha! Hallelujah, we're saved. And then now we're like a few years in and we're like, you know what? Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best decision. Maybe they went a bit too far there.
I'm someone who always thought that piling on was a fine skill and that everyone else was just whining. But that's because I play AV17s.
Yes. I think there's also, again, let's call it confirmist bias, right? Like I think as an Orc player, I always play dwarf sometimes just to be even more of a heretic, right? Every time I see claw, even without my blow, I'm fearing it because it will tear my team. And the problem is the problem I see most with claw is that what it does to team value, because dwarves and other 10 armor teams or trolls or trees or whatever, their cost is based on they having that high armor. And you have now a skill that is like, that doesn't matter. Your team value is now completely screwed because then you meet a team that doesn't have claw, and all of a sudden, like that team value that what you are paying from your armor is well spent, and that's sort of the problem.
Okay, it's exactly the same with teams that have dodge meeting tackle teams.
Oh, exactly.
You took the words. You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Took the words out of my mouth there.
I will also say that like the teams that can take mutations are also teams that oftentimes don't start with like block, so they at least have to take another skill or another. Like normally they take block and mighty blow before they can even remotely think about taking claw.
Yeah.
So like, and by that time, the teams that get can opened, they've already got like mighty blow and guard most likely, or at least they've got block and guard, which means that they it makes it much harder for claw teams to engage properly if you position correctly and all that nonsense. But like I think if we made it so that Mighty Blow and Claw stacked again, I wouldn't be upset. I don't want to see piling on return, to be honest. I do think Pile Driver sucks. I kind of wish that Pile Driver was something else that, like, I don't know, maybe it just, like, if you roll a both down, it turns off block for both players, you both take armor rolls, and you both hit the deck. And then, maybe people can take armbar to make it so that you win out on those trades and all that nonsense, right? But, buff armbar a little bit or something, because I like armbar too, but I don't want it to get too crazy either. Because we don't really want to buff the strength tree too much, because it's already the best.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like, I think a little bit more fear into the high armor teams is nice. and a little bit less ball safety would go a long way.
I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to say
they've made it so that the caging is too powerful as well, and the leap nerfs and that kind of thing is and the kickoff event nerfs. They all tend towards let's build a cage and
Yeah, but then like they nerfed. Well done, me. They nerfed, they nerfed leap, but then they like kind of buffed break tackle, kind of.
In some
like
ways, yes. In some ways, no.
Yeah, like the height. So like they made it so break tackle, like if you take it on a higher strength player, it's like it's not as good anymore. But like your strength 3 players that dodge on like if you're like an elf or something, it's like ooh.
Have you ever had a break tackle skink?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I was fishing.
I go for a break tackle on my halflings. It seems so fitting thematically, right?
Yeah, it's just like I was fishing for agility on a skink, and I got plus movement on the first one. I was like, right, I'm movement 9, time to fish for it again. I didn't get it, and I was like, right, well, break tackle, that'll do.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, on the other hand, if you compare it to something like 2 heads, you basically like that's sort of the same thing it does, right?
But again, two heads, like the fact that 2 heads and claw are both limited to who can actually take them, has a big effect on their usage, right? Whereas everyone I mean, that's an interesting thing, right? So they've made it so that it used to be that everyone used to have between primary and secondary access, general passing, agility, and strength, right? But they've started removing passing from anyone who isn't a thrower, right? Would it be a terrible idea to remove strength access from stunty players and remove agility from orcs and dwarves?
I mean, I think I've heard that before. I've heard like if you've got I've heard the idea of if you've got AV 10 plus, no agility access for you. You're not allowed to take defensive,
I think,
or dodge.
I actually haven't heard that before, and I'm fully for it. I think, especially something like I'm the heretic, so I dare to speak for the dwarves here. I think that would be only fair. Like I think that you need that sort of balancing. But yeah,
I mean, yeah. At high TV, the guard wall with 2 or 3 defensive in there is such a nightmare.
Trolls in an orc team with defensive is like really not what you want to be facing, right? Because like the orcs have everything they need to begin with, and then if you can't use your guard to sort of counter some of that, then you're just what the F are you gonna do, right?
You just got to hope you've got defensive too, and then you can't hit them, and they can't hit you.
Yeah.
You're just like, aha, stalemate.
So I returning to the match we just played, Khornight, I will say I think the dice definitely helped me this time, and I think it's only fair considering a bit of payback from last time.
Yeah.
It seems like last time I couldn't KO a single of your players, and this time it went without any hitch, and you couldn't get it to any of my players. I think we swapped armors. It seems this time.
Or the armor went as it should have gone, right? I think that was what it should be. Yeah. I don't mind the odd death. I'm surprised you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't apo the badly hurt stand firm, because like. If it had come down to me turning you over and scoring, and then getting potentially a 1 turn later on, having only 1 stand firm left.
Oh yeah, I think. But since you didn't have your thrower, I wasn't so scared of the 1 turn. But I think for me it was also a question of like if it had been a KO, I would have done it. That way it could stay on the field. Because I was more if we weren't going to go to a third half, I think it would come down to basically who receives, basically. If you received, there was no way I was going to stop you, I think, more or less. Unless I had done a lot more attrition.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe. It's Blood Bowl.
True. I've seen weirder things, I was going to say. I think I saw Sermol with 3 Elves on the field versus 11 humans, and they still won in a full half.
Yeah, Ceremon's a bit good though.
Oh yes, he was playing Crystal Hunter, so it wasn't a, let's call it an uncontested match either.
Yeah.
So
Are you going to validate the game? Oh, yeah.
It's gonna go up on YouTube tonight.
Pardon? No, validate the game so I can see my dead players.
Oh,
So
sorry.
dead players. I want to see my dead players. Let me see my dead players.
Yes, we can do that.
My favourite frenzy player who finally got dodged died.
Oh.
Instantly.
So, instantly, yeah.
Just smashed it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's got a niggle. I can't actually appo him.
No,
So
I said
Ringtail killed my.
You've got better players to save, unfortunately.
Yeah, we both said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I had a.
So in the end, I used my appo on a KO.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
I'm gonna head off, but for people in the stream, like, it's been a pleasure being a caster for you once again, and it'll be awesome when I'm back again. DK Max, thank you very much for co-casting with me. It's very much appreciated, and like, thank you and Archangel for doing tech stuff. Thanks Archangel and Khornight for the game. It was a really, really good one, even though the dice were a bit shocking at times. And yeah, congratulations to Archangel and commiserations to Khornight.
I fully agree.
Thank you very much, Electrovision, for letting me co-cast in your shadow, because you're such a big presence in the Blood Bowl community.
Fuck off. All right, take it easy, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.